I wanted to do something a little bit different and fun today. We are going to be doing a postnatal class while breastfeeding. So obviously I am not currently breastfeeding. I did breastfeed all of my babies while during yoga. Motherhood is so busy, especially in that first little while, and I was breastfeeding so often, and so I really enjoyed combining most of them together. You could also treat this like a challenge to see if you can do all of these yoga poses while you are breastfeeding. So I have a doll here, and we are going to be using both hands to make sure that baby is safe and you can protect your baby's head at all times. Of course, you know your baby best and only do things that are safe for you and your baby. You may also need a blanket. We don't want to interrupt the breastfeeding, so we're going to do some standing poses and then get down onto our knees. So we're going to get down from a lunge into a kneeling lunge. So place the blanket on your mat where you think your knee is going to land when you go from your standing lunge to your kneeling lunge. Of course, if you need to pause at any time, switch sides, just make this practice your own. Let's start standing up. If you have a blanket for your knee, you can take it and place it in the center of your mat there, and then stand up. Make sure you've got a good latch. So we can bring our feet hip distance apart. Let's start with some easy hip circles here, just warming up. Going both ways. Good. Let's come to a centered position, soft knees, and we can do some pelvic tilts. We're going to exhale, inhale, exhale, bring it forward, inhale, tilt it back. You can also add a Kegel to this. Exhale, Kegel, inhale, tilt. Let's go side to side. Good. Let's come to the top of our mat now, and we're going to sit back into chair pose, but obviously without our arms. So we're going to sit back, exhale, pull in your core, sit back as if you're sitting in a chair. We'll hold here, spread your toes. Ribs are down as if a corset is wrapping around you. Inhale, coming up. Release your pelvic floor. And again, exhale, lifting your pelvic floor, wrapping corset around you, zippering up through your belly. Inhale, fully relax. One last time. Exhale, zipper up. Breathing into your side and back ribs so you can keep your core engaged. A little bit deeper, good. Coming up. So notice where your blanket is. We're going to step back into Warrior One. Back edge of your back foot firmly pressed into the ground. Back leg is straight. Re-engaging your core here. Shoulders nice and relaxed. Good. Let's open up our hips to the front now, moving into Warrior Two. So now your back foot is perpendicular with your front foot. You can sink down a little bit deeper. Your front knee is pressing towards the back of the room. Nice stretch through your groin, spreading your toes. Beautiful, straightening your front leg. Let's bring that stance in just a little bit. Pigeon toe your back foot in slightly, and if it feels safe, you can tilt into Trikonasana or triangle. So stacking your shoulders over top of your front leg. And if it feels good, you can look up, slight tuck in your chin for length in the back of your spine. Exhale, engage your core. Let's come up, switching your feet around to the other side. So squaring your hips to the other way, finding your warrior one legs, finding your breath. One more breath here. Let's open up our hips to the front, setting up for warrior two legs. Beautiful. Pressing in to your bent leg, straightening it. Let's bring our back foot in just a little bit, turning it in, moving in to Trikonasana. So almost as if you can reach forward, stacking your shoulders over top of your leg. Legs are engaged. Good. Exhale. Coming up. Let's turn both feet out now. Come into goddess pose here. Feeling a nice stretch. Deep breaths. Using your glutes. Come on up. So we can just come to the side of our blanket here. Let's move into tree pose. So let's spread your toes, and we'll just take our foot to our calf muscle here. If you want to put your toe down, if you feel safer, you absolutely can. Finding something steady to gaze at. Placing that leg down, finding your balance on your other foot. Releasing out of the pose. Good. We're going to find our way down onto the ground now. So first, let's take one foot back. We're going to take a big lunge back. And you want to line up where your knee is going to go down, and then slowly bend your back leg until your knee touches the ground. Good. And actually, let's come on up again. We're going to do this on both sides. And step, big step back with your other leg. Good. And bending, coming down into your kneeling position on your other side. We can untuck our back toe, and let's inch our front foot forward. Shifting our hips, tucking your tailbone. We can lunge here, taking any movement that feels good. Pressing into your front foot, let's shift our hips back, flexing your front foot. We can hinge at the hips, tilting forward just a little bit, lots of length in your spine. So flex and point your front foot a few times. Good. Coming back up, we can tap our front foot back in, switching to the other leg. Moving into our kneeling lunge, releasing through your psoas or hip flexor. Steady breaths. Spreading your toes, pressing through your front foot. Let's come back up. Flexing your front foot again, hinging at your hips. Gentle hamstring stretch here. Shoulders are relaxed down your back. Point and flex. Coming up, we can tap that foot back again. Coming to our knees. Let's open up through your chest, pulling your belly in. We can just open up, slightly lifting our chest up. And re-engaging your core, exhale, coming up. We can sit back on our heels and then swing our legs around the side. You can either sit on your blanket or behind it. Let's come into Janu Shirshasana so we can square our hips, flex our front foot, sitting up tall. Lifting your ribs cage away from your hips. Good. Let's open up our hips, shifting through the center, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. And if it feels good, you can also rock back and forth here. Let's bring our other leg in now, setting up for Janu Shirshasana on the other side. Squaring your sternum over top of your front leg. Front foot is flexed. All those muscles of your front leg are engaged. And then hinging at your hips. Beautiful. Releasing out of the pose. Let's bring our feet together for butterfly. Letting your knees flop out, sitting tall. We can also do a couple of pelvic floor contractions, so fully relaxing your pelvic floor, and then imagining a blueberry at the opening of your vagina, and we're going to pull it in and up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Take a breath. Keep your pelvic floor fully relaxed. And we'll do that again. Moving in and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. And we can go in and out quickly. So we're going to lift, release, lift, release, lift, release. Keep going. Good. Fully relax at the end, and we can release out. If you can windshield your legs back and forth. we're going to move into Shavasana on our side. So setting up and then carefully lowering yourself down to the ground for a side lying feeding position. So just taking whatever time you need here to set up, finding a relaxing position, feeling your whole body feel heavy on the ground. Let's take a big breath in. Exhale out. One more time. Expanding through your side and back ribs. Sigh out. Let your body feel heavy on the ground. Relax your face and your pelvic floor. Feel free to continue to rest here, or you can finish up with me. Take any stretch that might feel good, and then we'll come back up to a seated position. Namaste to you, and namaste to the babies. I hope you enjoyed that postnatal yoga while breastfeeding. I would love to know how it went for you in the comments below. Of course, I will keep making postnatal Pilates, yoga, and workouts every week. If you like videos like these and to support me, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can also use the search bar to search whatever type of class you're working for. For example, you could type in pregnancy and postpartum TV baby wearing if you were looking for other baby wearing workouts. I will link to the whole postnatal playlist right there, and if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribing is free.